to the Backyard Machine Shop. Well, this is going to be part 2 of the Harbor Freight 4x6 bandsaw versus the Marvel Power hacksaw. Now, part 1, I got a lot of comments and a lot of emails saying that I didn't give the Harbor Freight saw a fair chance, and that I didn't have it set up right, and that they have the same saws and it cuts a lot better. And that might be. Now, I had it set at the slowest speed. That's the way I've always cut metal, and I've never really worried about calculating out the surface feet or anything like that. So in this video, we're going to look at these saws a little more, and we're going to do some tests and figure out what the surface feet per minute are on these saws and on the Marvel saw. Stay tuned, and I'll move the cameras around and I'll show you what we're going to do. All right, guys. What we have here, we're at the Harbor Freight bandsaw, and what the first thing we need to do to figure out surface feet per minute, we need to know at what speed the saw is traveling. Now, we can take this motor, which is a 1700 RPM motor, and it goes through a belt drive. It looks like it may be. Right now it's set in a high speed, so it's up driven, maybe like 1.5 to 1 or something. And then it goes through a gearbox, and we can take the gearbox off and calculate the ratio there, and then figure it all out. But the simplest way for me to do this is I have a tack, and we've placed a piece of magnetic strip on the bandsaw wheel. And so what we're going to do is we're going to use this tack. We're going to figure out what the RPM is here at the wheel, and we're going to do a calculation and find out what our surface feet per minute is. Now I'll do this is on the fastest speed, so we'll do it, and I'll do the middle speed, and then we'll do the slowest speed. Okay, so stay tuned, and I'll show you what's going to happen. So, now the way this works is you just take a piece of tape and cut it off, stick it on what you want to check for RPM, and then you take this laser, and you point it at it, and it'll calculate the RPM for you as it's running. Okay, so and we'll do it a couple of times and make sure we get the same thing. Right, so I'm going to turn it on. Running 90.6 RPM. And that's on the high speed. I'm going to go right down on the board. Okay guys, now we're set at the medium speed, and we'll shoot it again. Let's hit the memory button. Alright, so 65.1. Okay. Do it again. Alright. That time 62.9. We'll use the 62.9. Okay guys, so this is the lowest speed, and this is what I had it set on the other day first. So we'll know what the surface feet per minute was when I was cutting. See that 43.9. Alright guys, so what we're going to do here is we're going to place it here on this cam, and this is actually will give us our RPM of our saw, and then we'll have to do a couple other things to get the inches. Get it to stick. All right, so pick this up some. guys, so one of the things we need to figure out on this saw to get its surface feet is this is a 14-inch blade, but we need to figure out the stroke. And right now it's set. It could actually probably stroke a little more, but we want to figure out the stroke, and we'll use that to calculate our surface feet per minute. So what we need to do is get the saw. It looks like it's right there at it. You can see when it relaxes on this bearing there is when it's starting to make that change. So we're going to give this saw a mark right in the center of that piece of 2-inch angle. Okay? Alright. Well, I'll tell you what, let's make a little finer mark than that. Give us a little bit better measurement. Alright, so now we need to rotate the saw all the way back. Yeah, I'm going to bump it on. Let's see what we can do. Whoa, it went a little further. Yep, that's right. Okay, I'll already moved it. And that's about as far back as it needs to go. Let's see. Right about. Let's check right there. All right, let's see if it goes. See where it stalls at, right? Well, yeah, it's going the other way. Should put a hand wheel in this thing. Alright, right there. So now what we need to do is we'll measure that stroke. So from here to there, we got 6 and 6¼ inches. Okay, so write that on the board. Here on the marble, and this is how we're going to calculate the surface feet per minute. Marble is running at 67.2 RPM, and every revolution is cutting 6¼ inches. So it only cuts on one pass. So it's actually moving twice that much there and back, but it only cuts half the time. So it's not an efficient saw, but we'll calculate its surface feet. So the formula for that should be, and it should be 67.2 times 6.25 over 12. Okay. So we take 67.2 times, what was it, 6.25, and divide that by 12 equals 2. It equals 35 SFM. Well, PM. I want to do it that right. So it equals to 35 surface feet a minute. And I'm thinking I'm doing that right. So, all right. So we're cutting 6¼ inches per revolution, and we're doing 67 revolutions a minute, and it's giving you 35 surface feet. Now, we need to calculate the Harbor Freight saw, and I'm going to do that a little different, and I'll show you how in just a second. All right, guys. So now what we need to do is we need to calculate these, and the way we calculate these is it's going to be RPM times the wheel diameter times 3.1416, I think. That's pi, right? Yeah. Okay. Over 12. And that'll give you a surface feet for these. So at 90.6 RPM, let's see, 90.6 times the wheel diameter on that saw is 7 inches times 7. So the wheel diameter, we'll put 7 right there. How about that? Because that's going to be a constant. All right, so times 7 times 3.14. Let me start over. All right, guys, so here we go. We got 90.6 times 7 times 3.1416 divided by 12 equals to 166 SFPM. All right, and that's on the fastest speed. So that's a little high for cut steel. I'd say 80 to 100 maybe for that saw, but that's what we got. All right, so the next one would be 62.9 times 7 times 3.1416 equals to, got to divide it by 12, 115, 115, so it's 115 surface feet per minute, okay? All right. And then on the slowest speed, we have 43.9 times 7 times 3.1416 divided by 12 gives you, this one is 80 SFPM. Okay? All right, so that's what we're dealing with. So the surface feed, even on the lowest speed, is at 80 surface feet per minute and 35 on the marble. Okay, so now we know what we're doing, how we're cutting and how fast we're cutting. So the surface feed is double, a little more than double on the Harbor Freight. So it should cut faster. I agree, and that's what the guys were telling me. However, the makeup of the saw makes a difference, and I'll show you why later. All right, guys, so what we have, and I went back and checked the manual. I downloaded the manual, and Harbor Freight says their saw runs 200, 120, and 80 surface feet per minute. Our calculations, give us 166. We may be off a little bit, but anyway, 200, that's even a lot faster than you should be cutting metal, unless you're cutting with maybe a carbide blade or something. All right, so what we're going to do is I've ordered a brand new 10 TPI saw blade for the Hacksaw, and I've ordered a new bimetal blade 10 TPI for the Bandsaw. They'll be in a few days. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on both of these saws and try to get them as running as best I can, and we'll no doubt have as fair a comparison as we can and speed it up, whatever. I'll show that on camera. But here's what I want to do. Here's the piece of stock, okay? And you see I've got it divided out. And this is 4-inch sections. So everybody says that their saw will do what it'll do. So here's your opportunity. The first, I've got 10 sections here I can cut out of this saw, this piece. The first 10 people, and I'll give them a week or so, from this time this is posted, we'll get a week. But the first 10, or whoever wants to try this, I will cut the stock up and mail you a piece for you to try on your saw. Okay? But here's the stipulation. When I do that, I need you to video it with a timer. Take a cell phone, set it up with a timer, and cut. Now you can do anything you want to do your saw, any kind of blade you want, any kind of speed you want, but it must be a Harbor Freight saw, and it can be an older one or a newer one, and we'll compare all of our times. Now, we can consider it a competition, but I think it's just a friendly competition. There's nothing going to be, maybe some bragging rights. But if you're interested in that, here's what I want. The first 10 people to make a comment in the comment section to accept the challenge, and I'll get in touch with you after you do that to get your address. Do not post your address in the comment section. I'll get your address. I'll cut. Now I'm not going to cut this until I get those get the people, because I'm not going to waste the material cutting it up in 4-inch pieces unless there's a reason. I will pay for the shipping. It's going to be a flat rate box, whatever the small flat rate box is, I'll pay for, and I'll ship it to you. And like I said, the only thing that I ask, if you do this, if you accept the challenge, is for you to take your Harbor Freight saw, old or new, I mean, I know they've been making them for years, and cut it. You can cut however thick you want. You can use the whole 4 inches to tune your saw and get it as best you can. Now, we want to look at the appearance of the cut and the squareness. So you need to show that, but we're not going. But we just want to know performance and how well we have our saws tuned, and that will back up what this saw will do. Okay, so it's not going to be me one-on-one with it. I'm giving everyone the opportunity to give a fair and show of this Harbor Freight saw. I have nothing against this saw. The saw's been good to me. I just cut it a little slower, but we'll see how that goes. So if you're up for the challenge, comment. I'll leave it up for a week after the video is posted, and comment, and then I will get in contact with you with my email address, and you can email me your, well, let's just do it this way. Leave a comment and I'll contact you for if you're one of the first 10, and you should be able to see that. And then email me at thebackyardmachineshop@gmail.com. Okay, and I'll get this stuff out in the next week or so, and we'll give everybody a month or so to get their videos together. And the only video I need, it doesn't have to be a professionally done video, just a video that can be texted or emailed or some way I can get it back downloaded to where, and I'll put it into one of my videos and we'll show everybody's saws off. So, you know, get some respect for the Harbor Freight saw if you want to. So, like I said, I got a new blades coming. I'm gonna tune them up. We're gonna see what they'll do, and everybody understands that, and we get at least 10 people that's willing to do this. And I think this will make a good video, and it'll kind of put everybody out there. So I want to thank all my subscribers and all my viewers and all my commenters, and you know, keep them coming. And from the Backyard Machine Shop, so long.